Yeah, welcome to this tutorial. And this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to use w3modal classes. Now let's get started. I have already written my code and I will advise you to pause this video so that you can see what I've written so that you may understand it. Now you can pause the video to see the code, and let me to break this down so that you can be able to see it well. Alright, now don't get confused, just pause this video and try to understand what I write here. Now this is a button, which is open modal. Can you see this is the button which is open modal? Now let me show you the button, and the button here we have the class which is w3 button and w3 black. You know what those things work for. It's for button and it's for the color black. And now there is this on click which I will not explain right now, so wait a minute, I'm coming. Let me show you the black button. This is the button. Can you see open modal? Now alright, now look at this div element here. This div element here has an id attribute id 01, and it has a class which is w3modal. And in this div element we have another div element that houses the content of the w3modal element. This is the content. It means that if you want to set a w3modal, you first have to make an element, a container element that you will give the class name w3modal, and in that container element you have another container element that you will give the class w3modal content. Now you know this to make this content a card so that it can have a shadow, and in that this is the content of our modal. As you can see, this is the content of our modal, so you can replace this with anything that you want, but these two must be there. These two elements must be there. You get that now? So let me save this and show you what I'm talking about. Now if I click this, can you see this is the modal head that we see? These are the contents. These are the contents. Now let me show you some more things that I've not explained. Okay, let me take my time to erase this so that you can see what I mean. Let me this is erased. Save it. Can you see the content? Now let me undo what I've done. So that's to show you that that's the place for the content. Now let me explain to you what is on click attributes, what it works for. As you know already, that the on click attribute is for JavaScript to insert a little JavaScript code. Now what you see here is a little JavaScript code which picks, he said the JavaScript code is document.getElement, that is get an element by the id attribute and change the style to display block. Now this is the element that we are talking about. Can you see the id? Can you see the id 01 here? Can you see it here? Can you see it? Now that's the element that we are talking about, and that element is our modal. So when we click it, it will display this modal. It will display it as a block element. You get that? It will display it as a block element so that it will be visible to be read. And this what will happen. Watch out. Let me reload this. If I click it again now, bam, can you see? Okay, I've not saved it up, sorry. Alright. Can you see? Now it does what? It opens, that is, it shows what the content. It shows the content. It displays as a block element immediately. And I would like to tell you that this w3modal class in our w3 CSS style sheet, in this style sheet here, it has already been set to none, so that when you use w3modal class on any element, it will not display the element, it will hide it, and it will expect you to put the content of the hidden element to put it in this place, so that once it is being clicked as it is here, you will be able to view it, to be able to display itself. And let me show you another thing. I think you get that. Let me show you another thing. Span. This span you notice that there's something here that we can you see the close button here. Now it is set, this is where we set it, span, this here, can you see the span here, the span element here is that's what we used we use a JavaScript code for it. On click equals document.get element by id01 dot style dot display is equal to none. So once this is clicked, once this and times, that is the that close button, once it is clicked, bam, it is set as button, don't forget, and it is set to display as w3 top right. I guess you understand that it's set to display at the right, at the top right. That's why it is there. It can display anywhere in our modal, but since we have set it to display like at the top right, then it's displayed there. So once the button is clicked, once the X button is clicked, then it will not display. That's why we change the display property to none once it is displayed. Once it is clicked, the display property is set to none. Now you can have other effect to your modal. Once it is clicked, you can add w3 animate zoom. You can use any effect that you would like to have. Let me load this, and can you see how it zooms out? Can you see? Now you can use any effects that you want with it. Now let me show you one more example, because you can use w3modal for images. You can use it for any content that you would like to display as a modal. You can use it for a form. Let me show you a form now, and I will explain a little about it. Coming. Now this is another example that you should try to wrap your head around. Now let me show you how this works, how it looks like. If I click this login now, watch out. Can you see how it displayed? Now it's still the same thing, don't get confused at all. It's still the same thing. The only thing that you need to do is to set the modal content. The modal content is to create your form in the modal content. Once you are able to do that, then you will have a result. Now the header here, what you see here, the code that you see here, is the code that you see here is what is here. Let me show you. Created what is from this place to this place, all these people are highlighted, and the button. That's the effectiveness of that code. And what you see here, the form here, can you see? The form here is what you see here. Can you see? Now, and this is what you see here. This place. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You only need to create the contents, all the things that you want to be displayed in the modal. Just create it here in the div element, as I said before. Create the same form, create form normally as you used to create it, and put it in the div element for the modal content, and you will have your results. So this is how to make a modal. The same thing for images. Just put the image in the modal and you will have your result. So thank you for watching this tutorial. See you in my next tutorial.